Okay, you know what time it is? Let's do it again. Everything's looking good. Let's get to it. Alright, so the script. Well, not the script. I'd say the message for today is going to be the role of non-combats in the game itself, Dawn of Shinobi, right? So, let's talk about this for a second. We've got a world where there's battles, there's dangerous rogues, you've got ninja, you've got danger pretty much around every corner, right? Not everybody wants to be involved with that danger directly and just pick up a sword or a kunai or a windmill, if you're, a buki user or whatever, and just dive right into that. Like, not everybody's about that life, right? So, there are people who choose not to be combatants. I mean, that's okay, right? But the issue, I think, with that is we're getting to a point where a lot of them seem to just be in one place, right? So what exactly is a non-combatant? Because maybe somebody's new watching this, right? And they don't know what a non-combatant is. Non-combatants are, and we have the perk here, basically, but non-combatants are basically, they're players in the game who rank up by not fighting. But they rank up by mastering whatever profession they've chosen. They can be, artisans, gatherers, or even, medics, right? And they basically keep the village running from behind the scene. They're the ones who are responsible for a lot of major infrastructure being built and things like that. Now, they used to be able to get something where they could buy a perk where they could... Never mind, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, so, because they're non-combatant, they can travel freely, right? And they don't get labeled a rogue as easy when they travel freely, which is really good for them. So, like I said, these characters are really vital to the game. They help the economy, the progression of the game, and they're usually treated well by pretty much all players because of what they do. Now, again, they can't defend themselves, so anybody who walked into a non-combatant could literally just do whatever they wanted because they cannot defend themselves. But recently in this game, we've kind of got to a point where, if you look at it, it looks like the Mist Village kind of has all the non-combatants, right? Pretty much, they got 7, right? That's weird. That's kind of weird. And I think part of that is because the Leaf Village, and this is just natural, people. I guess we'll say this is how people naturally react, right? But the Leaf Village just has more of a reputation for being more of a conflict-driven village. And I think they also come off as more aggressive. And because of that, I think that non-combatants over time just realize they don't want to live in a village like that. And I think that's kind of part of the issue with why people don't want to play, why people don't want to make there, especially as non-combatants. Now, like I said, non-combatant players really don't want to be involved with combat at all because they make one. They're not. They want a quieter and more fulfilling, life that is not around combat. For at least for them, and that never mind. And so for these players, I think the idea of being dragged into unnecessary drama or smoke between different players, I think that can be off-putting for them. And I think this is why they'll gravitate towards other villages, where a village or a place where they feel like that lifestyle is encouraged and respected. And unfortunately, like I said, I think the Mist Village has become that place, identity-wise. So, this imbalance is a problem, and I think it's actually starting to cause some concerns with our DM, who recognizes that, non-combatants are far safer probably than what he originally wanted them to be. And I think if they were more balanced out and there was more of a, I guess it's a death in exchange between them, I think it'd be better, or not better. I think it would suit his wishes, because I think it's fine the way it is right now, but, I'm biased, obviously, because I'm reaping the benefits of it. But anyway, so, one thing is there used to be an expensive perk that I think non-combatants actually may have enjoyed, which was the switch to a combatant perk. I think that one probably never should have gotten removed. If you really wanted to balance that perk, realistically, what could have been done is you could have just had the perk in the game and then said non-combatants who swap to a combatant go down in 1 rank. So, if a B rank non-combatant swaps to combatant, they're at Chunin. They still have to play the game. If an A rank non-combatant swaps to combatant, they're going to be a B rank and they'll be down 60 XP. I mean, they're already going to be in some a shitload of trouble anyway, so who cares at that point? But anyway, that's just my thoughts on that perk. I think that perk was actually bad anyway. I don't think I don't know why it was removed. I think it was kind of a noob trap and just something somebody would do if they really just wanted to have a good time. What I would say is a rework for that perk that would have been good was it cost 60 XP, but even though it cost 60 XP, I would say that you gain a bonus to your combat expertise up to a point level. So even if it costs 60, if you do combat afterwards and you do a lot of combat, you could probably get maybe at least, I'd say, 40 of that 60 back easier than somebody who was like an actual combatant from the start. I think that'd have been good. That would have encouraged somebody. That wouldn't be discouraging to buy the perk, but it would also be encouraging. Anyway, we gotta speed through this because I think we're at like 7. Oh no, we're at 6 minutes. We're good. We're doing good. We're doing good. So, what other ideas can we do to balance this issue, right? So again, like I said, reintroducing the combat tradition perk. The next one I think would be interesting would be to have regional conflicts. And I think these conflicts cannot be phrased around Mist versus Leaf, bad blood. So you gotta figure out a way to do this without it being Mist versus Leaf, bad blood. I don't want to. So you need to come up with a unique mission where it's like you guys are against each other, but it's not like bad blood. If someone so-and-so dies or whatever. So maybe what you could do is you could like have it set up where these two villages go against each other, but they're not the one committing the kill. It's like some third party. I don't know, something like that. Whatever. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. So the next thing is, I think you give non-combatants the Sakura treatment that we used to have in other games, where it's like, if you bring a non-combatant with you to a fight, maybe you get like 1 bonus heal, or a bonus pill. So it's like, oh shit, I'm bringing a non-combatant to this rogue fight, and if I lose, this non-combatant is definitely gonna die, or get captured, or something horrible. But by bringing them, the non-combatant has the ability to affect the combat in some way directly, where they can like heal. And I think maybe if you really don't want that for PvP, you can bring that for PvE. So it's like, oh, if they bring the non-combatant for the rogue fight or whatever, now they can heal up 1 extra time in the fight, or do 1 extra bonus damage for every person or whatever. That would just something unique that says, if you bring this person, you get a bonus, and if you lose the fight, you're even more fucked as a village. I think it's just a nice. I think that's the way to go. So the next thing is gonna be, I would like to see non-combatants influence travel even more, right? Which encourage people to travel more. So what if you bring a non-combatant with you when you travel, and maybe bringing a non-combatant means that if you roll a nat 1, the 50% chance of it going bad when you have to roll the dice, maybe that gets easier for you. So then it's like 30-70. So it's like, now if you roll a 30 or below, it goes bad. Which if it goes bad and you brought the non-combatant with you, now the rogue or whoever it is has access to a non-combatant, and that's you lose out on that. But by bringing the non-combatant, you reduce the chances of the nat 1 leading to something bad by like an additional like 20%. Something like that, probably. I think that's what it is. It'd be like 20%. And that could be something that would be very useful and feel very impactful. And get them out of the village as well. I think also you can make missions where you can make them like normal combat missions or whatever, right? But or you can make them PvE combat missions if you really wanted to, where if you win and you bring a non-combatant with you, you get bonus resources. Like a lot of bonus resources. Maybe like double or triple bonus resources to your gathers or whatever. So boosted mission rewards. Or you boosted mission rewards in general. So just, oh, instead of getting 1 unique scroll, because you bought a non-combatant on this mission, now you get 2. And if you would have lost, the non-combatant dies. And honestly, if you really want to do it really, really smart, what you could do is you could just say the non-combatant dies from the travel, or something like that. You could say, oh, you're traveling to a dangerous location, you're fighting so-and-so. If you lose the mission, it means that some person that would have prepared you for... That means your travel back will be even more dangerous for the non-combatant, because they're not trained. Which means that the non-combatant automatically has to make DSRs on their travel back. Something like that, right? Something like that. Where it's like not directly giving players a reason to be like, oh, so-and-so won the mission from that village, so they automatically killed my non-combatant, so now I have to icy hate them and start another war. Like, you need to get creative with it. So, yeah, non-combatants traveling back from lost missions or whatever automatically have to make DSRs, or automatically take 9 stacks of fatigue, or something like that. Just creative. You're still going to run into one issue with this entire thing, though, and we're at 11 minutes. I went too long. It is what it is. Sorry, not 7 minutes. Your biggest issue you're going to run into, even if no matter what change you make, is non-combatants currently, clearly, from what we can see, do not want to make in the Leaf Village. You've got to figure out how to resolve that problem. Now, again, I know feelings can get involved and all this other stuff. So the best way to tackle this, if you really want to figure out what's going on, I would suggest, because I'm not going to go deep into it on this video because I think it's very opinionated, I would suggest privately DMing all the non-combatants who, in general, and asking them why it is that it seems like they prefer to be in one village over the other. See if there's a common theme, and see if you can address the common theme. If you can't address the common theme, you're just fucked. Like, if it's all because of X reason, and you can't fix that, you're fucked. You're just gonna have to accept that one village is gonna have non-combatants, the other one's not. And come up with your own ways around that in some way, whether it's giving extra resources or what, but you're just gonna have to, if it's like some weird icy reason or some icy reason that you can't fix, then you're just fucked. But maybe it's something you change, I don't think it is, but maybe it is. So, but yeah, you need to DM them. Because if you ask in public chat, they're just gonna lie to you. So asking in public chats, they're just gonna lie to you, obviously, because if it's a personal reason, they're not gonna want to be a dick about it. And then, you know, so that's my thing. Alright, so that's the end of this video. Hope it helps you with figuring out what the hell you want to do, but that last thing you're gonna probably definitely have to do no matter what. So, yeah, because I think people, I'll just say this. I think if somebody wants to be a non-combatant and they got told they couldn't make it, I think they might not just play, or they might just like wait till they could exile and get the fuck out of there, which is again an issue you're gonna run into. So I would double check into that. So, end of this video. Goodbye.